Hello students, welcome to Dimpy's tutorial. Jung tini history ni chapter katal pornai among ka history ni chapter 2 from trade to territory the company establishes power. Chapter ni puila line of tungo Aurangzeb was the last of the powerful Mughal ruler. Mane Mughal raja ni sabse powerful sabo Aurangzeb. After his death in 1707, many Mughal governors, subedars and big zamindar began asserting their authority and establishing regional kingdom. Japru pathai ke apro ka jebini governor og subedar og kuma zamindar al ka jaga thangai brong ne kaisa authority kai ke samna sadeng karam de o jaga bok tong hakai o jaga brong ni ase kingdom kai ke chigon samna sadeng kata jekhane borok o jaga rule khai manna bak. By the second half of the 18th century, the British phaike India sang semano. তারপরে কে আস্তে আস্তে বিনি যে ব্রক তো ফাইকা পুলা ফু ইন্ডিয়াত এসে কোম্পানি আছে বিজনেস খানা বগতা পা আস্তে আস্তে ইন্ডিয়া ফাই বিনি কে ব্রক রুল খাই আছে তুমি সেমন আমসন দাবো কাহাম কে পড়াই ইস্ট ইন্ডিয়া কোম্পানি কামস ফার্স্ট ইন ব্রক বো ইয়ার ফাইকা ইন্ডিয়া ও 1600 ফাইকা এসে মার্চেন্টাইল মানে ট্রেড খানা বগি মানে বিজনেস খানা বগি ইন্ডিয়া ও Portuguese has already established their presence in the western coast of India and had their base in Goa. Bong ni finance kang hojo no Portuguese ro India phai bong ni je base ke mane starting of Goa phai phaiya. Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer who has discovered this sea road to India in 1498. Vasco da Gama pula India phai bo India ni je sea road kai damon discover khagya bo year of 1498. Early 17th century, the Dutch too were exploring possibilities of trade in the Indian Ocean. Soon the French traders arrived on the scene. Dutch French. The problem was that all the companies were interested in buying the same thing. Kaisa problem tam nukja khabong moide je thom borok je boro India phai business khane rok amo thuno kaisa minus sime borok business khana mungjo. The fine qualities of cotton, the silk, the kungma ko spices jemon pepper, gulmoric, cloves, cardamom, cinnamon, the kungma mairok borok export khamjo mane omono beshi common manei jeta mane Dutch phanangkha, Portuguese phanangkha, French phanangkha borok o maino payani interested. Trade was carried on their arms and trading posts were protected through fortification. Fortification mane kaisa wall hai ka tower jeta mane kono protect khaina boita nang business khaipano nini je business ke o phai dongso khainang na babi. This effort to fortify settlement and carry on profitable trade also lead to instant conflict with local ruler. Tabu nang je kono jaburam din nang India phai nang India ni mairo paikha business khaina bagai angge o jagan je local je rajar kai amai banang kaham kai kok saban nang lai jodi pula sang hoyen nong jodi kok ro kaham ke pai hang ke hulo je fu business khapu hulo cost nong East India Company begins trade in Bengal. Tabu East Indian Company ro Bengal phai tabu koroni business khana start nai mo santang nai ne. The first English factory was set on the bank of river Hooghly in 1651. Puila bro bone factory established again po jaga Hooghly river ro bo year 1651. The company traders known at the time as factors. Omonoborok factor hisabe borok romkha. Warehouse where goods for export were stored and it had offices where company officials sat. Warehouse man jekhane borok ni mani rok borok je godown or mani kon ta bin gana gino borok tam office nam ka jekhane British ni je borok koto or bhai borok korok jap nai borok meeting okhane anti kairo. By 1696, it began building a fort around the settlement. Tapa aste tam mega bong nije omrom di bong nije factory hinge pin gana gini borok as a walls namna satan khataki borok mono protect khai mana oi bong nije mani rong. 2 years later, it bribed Mughal officials into giving the company zamindar rights over 3 villages. Tapor aste tam hoya company je zamindar no bribe ngakai rom di ase Rishwat Amarna starting ka. On this was Calcutta, Ayoga Kolkata, Kalikata, no, which later grew into a city of Calcutta or Kolkata. How trade lead to battles? Sabukai the business kama the trade on bahai battle stop kya battle thangai starting kya mo sang ham ke nai. Early 18th century, the conflict between the company and the Nawab of Bengal. Puila hangai tamo Nawab say company ro puila conflict ka. It was refusing to pay taxes, writing disrespectful letters and trying to humiliate the Nawab and his official. British autam phagya bongno tax organa bondo khagya. The bain paper kuma hamya sina start khagya newspaper ro kuma magazine ro te bongno ko respect ro alien thata British ro Nawab no. The conflict led to confrontation and finally culminated in the famous Battle of Plassey. Omo last ke ta mangi kya Battle of Plassey thangai starting. The Battle of Plassey, when Ali Vardi Khan died in 1756, Sirajadullah became the Nawab of Bengal. Tapos tamang jepru o Ali Vardi thi kya bini pore hingkai tha Nawabanga Sirajadullah bo Nawabanga Bengal ni. Sirajadullah asked the company to stop mending the political affair of his dominion, stop fortification and pay the revenues. Tamagya the company rokai da hangpor hangkai tama aste se bong je Nawab rong ni je ko political affair no ko or thangi bor kok sana starting mane binu bor kok sana starting ga the fortification no sama ko tower omro bill khaina starting ga hangkai Nawab saga nang chupchap ni kam khai no ji saw omo simen kam khai nang tax na phai ke nang tax mi nang tin paper nang ko thari ta. After negotiation failed, the Nawab marched with 30,000 soldiers to the English factory at Qasim Bazar, captured the company official, locked the warehouse, disarmed all Englishmen and blockaded English ships. Then he marched to Calcutta to establish control over the company's port there. তারপর আমাকে যে নবাব জল জাগে বিয়া 30,000 soldier তে বতলাং থাঙ্গা মানে ko juddo khaina pila Kasim baga thangai pro capture khaiga bong ni je company dong ni factory ro kuma officer no ta pro ka ase pro Calcutta thangai bo capture khaina pro thanga. Robert Clive lead the company army against the Sirajadullah at Plassey. Apro kai governor general thapmani Robert Clive. One of the main reasons the defeat of the Nawab was the forces led by Mir Zafar, one of Sirajadullah commanders never fought the battle. Clive had managed to secure his support by promising to make him Nawab after crushing Sirajadullah. Sirajadullah ni je aisa KOKBOROK mani omasab Mir Zafar kai kun devan battle ok mani kun devan war rogo botha kun ke botam phake Sirajadullah no bo ko kam sanai bono dhoka phaki basir hui bo na ko British rock bai bo juti kha juti pore kha British bon thaka nang jodi o battle no an jodi diti phuma kai ang no next Bengal ni Nawab samlain saka. The Battle of Plassey became famous because it was the first major victory the company won in India. Omo tanga the famous ki omo no puila battle je British rock India wo hai jiti mani. After the defeat at Plassey, Sirajadullah was assassinated and Mir Zafar made the Nawab. Hubro khari ka pusabo ko Nawab ka Bengal ni Mir Zafar. Its prime object was the expansion of trade. Omo ni sabse major part nga tamo bong ni je business na te bo age tlangna bagi. The Nawab had to pay rupees 5 lakh every month, but the company wanted more money to finance its war. Nawab rohke poti maso no borok 5 lakh pay khayo company dong no kintu company rok te borang nang tangai borok taki war rogo borok war rogo jehupan thong ke onek rang rok khoting edaba ei ombagi finance khaina bagi bongote borang sanga. Finally in 1765 the Mughal emperor appointed the company as the Diwan of the provinces of Bengal. Jepru 1765 phaya aprung gata Mughal emperor no মানে Mughal Empire ro company no as a diwan from the as a governor kahi bong no naka. The diwani allowed the company to use the vast revenue resources of Bengal. Omong gatam khaya or hongkai nang revenue mane nang rang nai manu mane je kono kamo nang rang nai manu as hisaban te ro Mughal ro British no snam kata from the finance secretary and defense nambari kata. This revenue could be used to purchase cotton and silk textile in India, maintain company troops and meet the cost of building the company fort and offices in Calcutta. Omong katam khai bro je cotton pai ya koi je rang amane omon hoite company rok tam khai kuma to brok pai kha te kuma building ros tam kha taki brok ke bo bong ni je company no expand khai manna bagi bodo Calcutta. The company official become Nawab. The company as a Nawab behave. After the Battle of Plassey, the actual Nawab of Bengal were forced to give land and pass some money as personal gift to company official. Robert Clive himself amassed a fortune in India. Tam saka Jaipur Battle of Plassey brok jitiam porkatam ka brok as a nijuno as a raja ka treat khai company brok saka are chungjitam pore no rang di all land di omor dehni brok ma san ka hangai the Robert Clive de bokhe nijune as a raja maharaja anti ka nijuna treatment khairu. He was acquitted. He committed suicide in 1777 or 1774 okay both thanga. Many died an early death in India due to disease and war, and it would not be right to regard all them as corrupt and dishonest. Asesam haga borok na sabe na tangai kuma disease rom kha kuma war ro tangai to block thibe tangai thibe ki borok bishibok dishonest bishibok corrupt. Nawabs and anglicized version of the Indian word Nawab. Company rule expands. After the Battle of Boxer 1764, omong katakte kaisa battle, company forced the state into a subsidiary alliance. According to the terms of the alliance, Indian rulers were not allowed to have their independent armed forces. They were to be protected by the company. Battle of Boxer and Porakai take as a rule Salunka subsidiary alliance or kai Raja Boniji ni kun dinokan army force tongmaya omohonga sabe protect kajangai je company roxy bonga protect kani but had to pay for the subsidiary forces that the company was supposed to maintain for the purpose of their protection. If the Indian ruler failed to make the payment, then part of the territory was taken away as penalty. Or sakali subsidiary alliance to borok nijini armed force oni manglak. Kintu borok oman nupurok rang barnai tangai maintain kanya bagai. Udi bogri yang kai rang bong nije territory bong nije rajyo no kingdom no British or naharsiu as a penalty. Tipu Sultan, the Tiger of Mysore. Mysore had gone in strength under the leadership of powerful ruler like Hyder Ali, ruled from 1761 to 1782, and his famous son Tipu Sultan ruled from 1782 to 1799. The British were furious. They saw Hyder and Tipu as ambitious, arrogant, and dangerous. Bokam no khaje Tipu Sultan Babu Hyder Ali borong onek tam sanai moro onek strong, onek courageous borong no khaje moro onek dangerous borong bagai. 4 wars were fought with Mysore 1767 to 69, 1780 to 84, 1790 to 92, and 1799. Only in the last, the Battle of Srirangapatnam, did the company ultimately win a viceroy. Or tamsaga Mysore borok charta war fight khaiga. Or charta war nimodde as a last 1799 seems borok jitishu. Tipu Sultan was killed defending his capital Srirangapatnam. Mysore was placed under the former ruling dynasty of the Wadiyars and subsidiary alliance was imposed on the state. Tabu ketamaga subsidiary alliance borok rekhaje borok haris thanga hanga kai ojagonga tabu British army rule sime ngnai. Ang norokni thum part no poria ang je main common sim jang no kita highlight kai no pori no kake khamke bujna bagi ba sai ke norok thum line by line no pori khamke. War with Marathas. With their defeat in the Third Battle of Panipat in 1761. Third Battle of Panipat tamangka Marathas rok hai thanga. Mahatji Scindia and Nana Pardis were two famous Maratha soldiers, and the company now had complete control over the territories south of the Vindhyas. Behuba khayam poreke bong je south part the Vindhya part among the borok British hatok man thanga. The claim of paramountcy. Under Lord Hastings, Governor General from 1813 to 1823, a new policy paramountcy was initiated. Omohgai paramountcy kaisa new rule bu pass kaisa sabo Lord Hastings. Omosongda company. Now the company claimed that its authority was paramount or supreme, hence its power was greater than that of Indian state. In order to protect its interests, it was justified in annexing or threatening to annex any Indian kingdom. This view continued to guide later British policies as well. Omongtamkha tamkhai o policy hokai je borok saw je in je British arno onek powerful onek mane borok no o jagani great warrior anti kai ni jeno khunu mete borok saw je borok bunyot threat bokai je nang no o jagani rang uko o jagani yakar mathanai jekun rajar no te borok jekun borok no kintu borok uko tax pana hake tax marana e anti kai. Rani Channama took to arms and led an anti-British resistance movement. She was arrested in 1824 and died in prison in 1829. Rani Channama kaya omong khauman pe bongno birod khai ka kokti saka je nokangani omo policy khai ka kintu bono khatam baki borok arrest khai tabaga prison an thithanga. Rayana, a poor chowkidar of Sangoli in Kittur, carried on the resistance. With popular support, he destroyed many British game and record. He was caught and handed by British in 1830. Rani thima pore kai je Rayana the chowkidar Bobby ni bodlawa o rebel no bonahaga movement no bonahaga gas teste botam haga mo British no buthaka ti nije bohloga British man jagai hologa bobo thithanga boy yaro 1830. Tabukngai, the doctrine of lapse, Zintoporika subsidiary alliance paramount Tawakai doctrine of lapse. Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor General from 1848 to 1856, he devised a policy that came to known as the doctrine of lapse. The doctrine declared that if an Indian ruler died without a male heir, his kingdom would lapse. This is become a part of the company territory. Omo mane kaitamo jekunu from the raja ni kun bakhadala krikha bakhadala kringi na thithanga mitang na bini je rajyo bo company rok man nai ki bini ko generation jikri hanga titamo khai daga after to bai roma sa priority jagi hanga chalawna priority ro jago. Finally, in 1856, the company also took over Awadh. That this time the British had an added argument. They said they were obligated by duty to take over Awadh in order to free the people from the misgovernment of the Nawab. Enraged by the humiliating way in which the Nawab was deposed, the people of Awadh joined the great revolt that broke out in 1857. Botam campaign tam saga je Awadh no bong na katangai Awadh no khai borok saka ehe jeng Awadh no tangi nana mosong tangi nakha taki o jagan je government o jagan je raja nong no kam kai naik naya ambage jeng naharo kintu o jagan borok jol jagai 1857 borok movement khai revolt norok nong ni map ro ko ma nuk nai nong boy ro ko ma map tong nai mo nong nai na dia mo nong nang salia omo ko hide khai tong nong nai mano bobo kingdom bobo area o tong mani. Setting up a new administration, Warren Hastings, Governor General from 1773 to 1785. British territory were broadly divided into administrative units as presidencies. There were 3 presidencies: Bengal, Madras, and Bombay. Approximately 3 presidencies were divided in India, Bengal, Madras, and Bombay. Each was ruled by the governor. Warren Hastings, the first Governor General, introduced several administrative reforms, notably in despair of the justice. Pulla sabo Governor General ka Warren Hastings. From 1772, a new system of justice was established. Each district has to have 2 courts. Project Governor General ka, afu botam saga bosaga 2 court tonga na kaise tama criminal court, te kaise civil court. The Company Army. Colonial rule in India brought in some new ideas of administration and reform, but its power rested on its military strength. The Mughal army was mainly composed of cavalry, sawars, trained soldiers on horseback. Cavalry mantamo je o soldier ko je korai bai thangai fight bhai antina hanjau. The East India Company adopted the same method when it began recruitment for its own army, which came to be known as the Sepoy Army from the Indian word Sipai, meaning soldier. Tapore khai aste se borok bo recruitment khanya starting kha Indian borok no bongni soldier nana bagi. Conclusion: East India Company was transformed from the trading company to a territorial colonial power. Borok to puila India wo as a company, as a business khanya famous ikin to aste samong kha borok asike power kha borok India ni heading thanga. New steam technology in the early 19th century also aided this process. Anywhere between 6 and 8 months to travel to India by sea, steamships reduced the journey time to 3 weeks, enabling more Britishers and their families to come to far-off country like India. East India Company had virtually the whole of India under its control. Jeb after some borok bong ni busarona bong family no botu na tatang kang dia tabra ke bong ni gusti ga no tu after borok India business khanya bagi phaika. Tapos sang samang kaji India ni obasta bong tingkha. Tinin chapter asung no norok jodi kon han bujangi tongka sapan bisingo norok anok in the comment section no comment khaimano tin norok jodi ani video kalja hakai ano like te subscribe khaidi te ni do no share khaidi hambai.